Welcome to this week's show. The first item I sold is this Shawn Michaels WrestleMania Heritage Series figure. It's from WrestleMania 24, as you can see here. HBK, Shawn Michaels is one of my favorite wrestlers, but during this era, I wasn't really watching wrestling, so I'm not really super into this figure. So this figure was listed months ago, like it's been online for a while, and I did the bid at $17.99. Buy it now at $24.99, and I finally got a bid, and it actually went back and forth between a couple bidders and got up to $20.50. So I'm kind of just glad this thing is going out the door. I forgot to say this was also the match from the match when Ric Flair retired, because it was a career-threatening match or whatever. So if Flair lost, then he would have to retire. And spoiler, Ric Flair lost. The next item that sold is this Nightmare Before Christmas Santa Claus figure. I wasn't really excited to let this one go, but since it was around the Christmas time, I decided to see how much it would go for, and it went for pretty high dollar, so I decided to let it go. I originally bought this with the intention of kind of starting a Santa Claus figure collection. Kind of like whenever Christmas came around, I would have a whole wall in the house that would just have Santa Claus figures on it. But just decided, since it was sitting on the ground in my office for a few years, that it was just time to let it go, especially since it was worth some money. Very heavy figure, but I put this figure up at $99.99 for the first week, and it didn't sell, so I brought it back down to $89.99 for the bid, and then ended up getting a bid, and then by the end of the auction, I actually had, buy it now for $149.99. But it got a bid, and then by the end of the auction, it ended up selling at $100. So, pretty cool figure. I'll never be able to afford it again, but I want to show you something about this figure that you probably won't notice. But, well, there's a scroll. There's his naughty or nice list and his hat. But if you look on the side, it shows him in his boxer shorts, and there's another piece of his costume, or I don't know, his robe, Santa suit, that you can snap onto the back, but I guess you can take it off, and he's in his long johns or boxers or something. And there's also some kind of booklet back there, and I don't know what that's all about, but yep, that's Santa Claus. The next thing I sold this week was the Kiss Spaceman Ace Frehley. It's the Dynasty outfit. It comes with a guitar and a cape. Pretty cool looking figure. I bought these at vintage stock, obviously. The reason I actually have two more up listed, and the only reason I'm selling him is because when I bought him at Vintage Stock, they didn't have Gene Simmons, so I don't really want to go and buy the Gene Simmons because I got these decently cheap. That's the only reason I bought them. So I'm just going to end up selling them because I don't have the full set. Here's the full set on the back, and then I guess there's 2 exclusives you can get of Gene and Paul. But yeah, it looks like a Super 7 type of figure, reaction figure, but it's actually put out by Biff Bang Pow. So this item was listed at bid for $24.99. Buy it now was $32.99. I guess it got a bid today, or the day it ended. $24.99. So it ended on the bid of $24.99. It was only up for a week. So the next item I sold is this Marvel Legends Frogman figure. I actually bought this at Walmart. It was on clearance for $5, so I had to pick it up. I think the figure's pretty cool. It's a pretty funny character. You should definitely look up the Wikipedia or whatever on the character if you don't know much about him. I know his dad was a villain named Leapfrog, which is pretty funny. And he was in a group of superheroes with Spider-Kid and the Toad called the Misfits. And I guess he's in a group called Action Pack or something now. But his story's pretty funny if you look it up. I bought this figure for $5. I listed it. I probably had it for a few months. Listed it at $19.99 bid and $25.99 buy it now. It's been up for about a week, and it ran out with the $19.99 bid. So next item we got here is called Cuponk El Campeon with funnel. Show your skill. It's got light and sounds, includes 2 balls. If you see, it's kind of a luchador Mexican wrestling theme. Here's one of the balls. I guess there's one inside of it. But it makes wrestling noises, I guess, when the ball goes inside. It's probably a fun game, but I didn't really think I was going to play it anytime soon. So I listed it up just to get it out of the way. Pretty cool. I always like Lucha Libre themed stuff, but had to let it go. The bid on this was $19.99. The buy it now was $25.99. It actually was up for a week, and someone hit the buy it now for $25.99. So there that goes. Up next is the Jason Voorhees Funko Horror Mystery Minis. I think is Horror Classics Series 3. This is kind of the zombie Jason with the hatchet. I believe it's Friday the 13th 7, The New Blood, which is a lot of people's favorite Friday the 13th movie. It's actually the one that I remember as a kid or a little bit younger, watching it on TV. I'm pretty sure number 7 was the one I would see the most. but I've probably seen the first one the most now, just because I always try to watch the series in a marathon, and I end up watching like 1, 2, and 3 and then giving up, and then I start over again the next time. But number 7 is definitely one of the cooler ones. I listed this one at $16.99 on the bid, $24.99 on the buy it now. It went through a week and it didn't sell, so I dropped it down to $15.99 on the bid, and someone ended up buying it, I believe, the day that it was ending. So this is also one of my favorite Funko Mystery Minis. He's just awesome. Alright, the last item I sold this week was Dracula Universal Monsters Mystery Mini from Funko. As you see, he's got the candle there. He's got a cape on. Pretty cool figure. I had this listed at $9.99 on the bid, $14.99 on the buy it now. It was up for about 2 weeks, and on the day it was ending, it sold at the bid for $9.99. So that's all of the sales for this week. All right, it's time for the not for sale showcase. This is one of my prized toys I have. I always wanted a monkey like this. I don't know how long ago I bought this, over 10 years for sure. But he does have a place for batteries, but back when this was as you can, there's acid too, but back when this was created in the 60s, this is actually a Daishin musical jolly chimp from the 60s. The batteries were a different size, so I tried to put in some D batteries and they don't fit, so you probably have to buy vintage batteries to put in it. But he might work, he might not, I'm not sure. But I always wanted one of these. Is that not haunting? That would probably give anyone nightmares. But yeah, I always loved these monkeys, and especially that horror movie that this was on the front cover. I don't remember the name of it. Was it Monkey Shines or Link or whatever? I'll put it up on the video. But I always thought these were one of the coolest vintage toys of all time. And I actually have, I guess you would say, like a newer reproduction. Not really the same design, but the same idea. It's a Magic Monkey battery operated figure, and this one's newer. I think the copyright says 2003 on this one, but there's also a date that says 2015, so that's probably when this particular one was made. But yeah, pretty awesome. And that's the episode for this week.